leaving everybody guessing. You said you'll take your time. Do you have any type of a timetable as to what you might want to do regarding your football career?
Jim, if I knew what I was going to do, I'd have already done it. Okay? I'm taking it a day at a time.
I sense you're antagonized by the question.
You're scratching.
It's only the question that everybody wants to hear.
You're scratchy. I appreciate your asking. Thank you.
Welcome in. Today is the day. Old Tuesday. This is your show where we share brilliant knowledge and have a lot of fun while doing it. The day. I am your host, Trent Richardson, and you do have your one and only Super Bowl winning two-time national champion on there, Reggie Ragland. Reg, what's going on?
Nothing. Chilling. Not much chilling, man. You know, enjoying my little data. I had to get the air fixed. You know, the air went out up in here, so we can't do
I
that.
remember you telling me that. You were telling me it was hotter than hot, and colder than cold.
Man, colder than a well digger's ass. Sorry to cuss. That's some cold stuff. Well, Lisa at?
She gonna be rolling in here in a minute. She'll be here pretty soon. I know you got a special guest coming in, man. You're one of them young fellas that you played with, man. One of my guys that I always say that, man, could have played with us in my area, man. One of the GOATs. You know, a lot of people don't give this man enough credit, man. You talk about him all the time, man. And I've always been a big fan of him. Just on and off the field. He always been a stand-up guy to me. This guy here is something else, man. But I'm gonna let you bring him in, Red, because I know he on right now. So I'm gonna let you.
Man, this is my brother from another mother. You know, everybody calls a road runner, but the name originally came from me.
Meet me.
We was roommates. Kenyan Road Runner Drake, you know, 2-time national champ, you know, 3-time SEC champ. And if it went, I ain't gonna lie, if it weren't for the injuries, man, ain't no telling where he really would be right now. But you know, God put him where he's supposed to be, and he's always been on time with Kenyan, man, and one of my favorite people ever, man. Everybody give it up for Kenyan Drake, man.
Kenyan, what's up with you, man?
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all boys for having me.
Man, listen, it's
and we glad to have you, man.
Oh man, look, I appreciate you being on, man. It's not a lot. I don't really get to think that I get to talk to, you know, just my Bama folks. So it feels good to kind of get back to the roots. You know what I mean?
What? Because we don't get to do that too often.
Ooh, what? Oh
man, Kenya, man, real quick, man. Tell me this, man, and you know, it's a different process in life now with recruiting. Your recruiting time with Bama, with Coach Burns, with Coach Saban, you know, kind of break down that process, man. Where they found you at, man? Where they grabbed that greatness from?
Well, ultimately, obviously, they came and got me out of Georgia. Georgia's got some success now, but I've always felt like I wanted to kind of get away from the crib in a sense. Especially getting recruited by Georgia and Georgia Tech. So when Bama called, and obviously, you know, I feel like I'm a winner and I want to be a part of a winning program on and off the field. I felt like they were going to create, you know, the best man that I could be on and off the field with, you know, their attention to details, the things that they instill into their players. Like I said, if you make it to any level, you know, of professionalism, not just the NFL, you're going to, you know, become who you should be. And obviously going there, I was young, I was immature. And going through the injuries like Reggie alluded on, that kind of created who I am today, because the adversity that you face just being at Bama in general with the competition is one thing. But when you got to go through personal adversity, as such as an injury, that, you know, you can't really foresee, like, you know, exactly who you are going to be afterwards. who potentially, could want to, use your services because maybe you're not as explosive as what you once were. That kind of creates a fire in you to kind of go and, be who you could be despite what the doubters say. And I feel like that's a point in my career where Bama really forged who I was and who I continue to be to today.
Man, because after all the years we played together at Bama and going into the national championship our last year, and for you to run that daggum kickoff return back, bro, that showed what type of person you is and the perseverance you went through. And everything that you went through was bottled up all in that one play. You know what I'm saying? And, like, at the end, at the beginning of the play, you ran to the left corner. Then you had to hit your burst. And then at the end, you had to dive for the touchdown. That's it because you ran out of gas, too. But, man.
No, I for sure did.
But just to see that play, bro, like, that shows everything that you went through all in one. And I'm proud to call you my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we go all the way back from Bryant, the 107 days. You know how we used to kick it back in the day. I don't think Trent done kicked it harder than us, though, King.
Yeah, man, listen.
We turned Brian out back then.
Man, listen, y'all were just coming up in Brian. Like we really did that in Brian. Now I'm talking about. Listen, I had to move off campus because of Brian. Listen, they let me
I didn't want to
move
move off
early.
campus because of Brian.
Listen, I ain't have a choice. Listen, Brian was different, man.
I remember every Thursday it was Geno Smith, Landon Collins, Denzel, and who else was in their room? Kenyan. Every Thursday.
Cyrus Jones.
Yep. Every Thursday we threw a party, and that was some of the most outlandish stuff I ever seen in my life in there.
Hey, that's what college is all about, man. Finding yourself and, finding other people that are like-minded.
Man, we talked a lot of them.
You definitely got a lot of them, man. You just listen. But it's crazy because as much as I, can say that we did in Brian, like the older guys, like just walk in, y'all. Antonio Langham, man. He had more stories being in Brian or being in his dorm room back in the day. And it'd be even crazier hearing his stories, man. So it get better and better every year. But man, I can remember watching that national championship game, bro. And when I seen you catch that ball, though, I was like, oh yeah, he finna take this to the house. It just like you had a mindset, like your emotion in your face was like, hey, all right, this is on my back. This is what we're gonna do. Oh, we got Kenyan Drake on. But like just even seeing you fight through that, bro, like you gotta think about it, bro. It wasn't for that kickoff, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, we were going back and forth. If Clemson made one stop, who knows what been the outcome. But I feel like that game really epitomized Saban as a coach because he always preached three facets to the football game. Obviously, offense, defense wins championships, but most importantly, special teams kind of creates that, the barrier that kind of breaks the stalemate that two offenses and defenses kind of can have. And so with that being said, those two special teams plays that we had, the onside kick and the kickoff return really just was the difference maker in that game.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, even talking about that, right? And I tell people all the time, the more you stay in the NFL, the longer you can, as not just as a position player, but special teams, like you'll be in the NFL for a long time. You think about Marlon got that onside kick. You ran one back. Like those plays are so big, and you look at y'all guys now. Both of y'all are premier guys in the NFL. Playing on somebody's team on Sunday, and still can play special teams if y'all had to.
Right.
But and I'm glad you said something about special teams, man, because I don't think special teams get honored like they used to, like they supposed to. Cause like even now, like I know when I did special teams, like bro, I was taking it back. I don't give a dang how deep it was back in the end zone. That's I didn't touch the ball enough, so it was like, hey, I'm fit to get 30 or 40 yards or whatever. out of this some type of way, and I always kind of did. And so, like nowadays, you see a lot of fair catching, and I know they take it from the 25 or the 35, whatever the new thing is now. But I missed the special team part of football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, I mean, like, how can you? Because I know you got you some touchdowns, you got you almost got 1,000 yards in kick return right now.
Right.
So, man, like, how does that, you know, filter out in your brain? You know, not having special team as much.
It really showed up this year where I was able to kind of like not play as much as I wanted to, just because of the numbers standpoint. So when I got my opportunity to obviously play offense, I went out there and I made the most of it. And
man, you did a damn good job.
What happened was that when the two guys that I was kind of replacing when I got signed there came back, obviously, you know, they got, you know, loyalty to them. They got, you know, just, you know, want to get them back into a rhythm, so they got to come and play. And with that being said, we had 4 capable backs. Obviously, J.K., Gus, and then we also had Justice Hill, who was the special teams guy in the room. So now we got 4 capable backs, but really how the numbers worked out with every other position, we can only have 3 that were active. And they kind of went with those guys because J.K. and Gus were their guys, and Justice was special teams. So more times than not, I had the short end of the stick because I didn't play special teams in this point in my career. So it's something that I kind of have to see if, like, I'm willing to sacrifice, obviously, getting back into that realm, or just find a place where, you know, they would want me to kind of come in and continue to just be who I am from an offensive standpoint at this moment.
Well, I know this, man. You're doing a great job with it, and I know I hear Reggie back there making some lemonade or something. He making some type of drink back there. What you making back there? You got some juice back there?
No, man, I ain't making nothing right now. I didn't drink all I needed to drink this past weekend. I'm good.
Well, speaking of the weekend,
sit down on my couch.
He went through all that 42, didn't he?
Yeah, he went through all that little 42. Huh?
Man, we was Cabos drinking everything.
Speaking of Cabo, man, listen, we gotta take a break, man. We gotta pay some bills, man. We'll definitely be right back, man. Kenyan, I don't know how long you're gonna stay on there for. So I hope you stay on there for the whole show. Wink, wink. But man, definitely, as long as you can. We got a good show coming up here, man. We're gonna get Antonio Langham thoughts on Dallas and you know, San Fran, and we're gonna get his thoughts on Stephon Diggs, and they saying he the new T.O. now. They coming out with everything on Stephon, man. I don't know why they doing my dog like that, man. But listen, we'll be right back, man.
Okay.
We'll be right back, man, with the ropes with TR3.
Live from AVX Studios in downtown Birmingham, The Ropes with TR3.
Plays in college football in the NFL, you probably might got top 2, top 1 or 2 in the NFL. Like, have you ever even sat back, and you probably even had the time to because you're still playing. But I know this, like now, my days now, like I sit back and realize, and I be having to realize stuff like people be saying to me, like I got one of the top players ever in college football, and then be like, well, I ain't never thought about it like that. But I know, like, at a time, it's like, okay, maybe I can start thinking of it like that, man. But Kenny, have you ever sit back and just thought about, like, man, I got especially moments, like you got some of the top 5, top 3, top 2 moments in college football and NFL history?
No, I haven't really, to be honest, sat back and kind of even dissected it to that degree. I just kind of, you know, I love the game. I love everything that the game has continued to bring to me, to my family. You know what I mean? And it's been a blessing for sure. And you know, maybe one day I'm gonna really be able to sit back and kind of focus on, like, you know, what I've done and what I've accomplished, and you know, who is all impacted. You know, and hopefully everybody can say at the end of the day that I was a great teammate and a great person in this league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I know you in every aspect of your life, and I'm gonna say you're a damn good person, but you're a little crazy too. But I love you, my guy. I love you to death.
Hey man, everybody got a little crazy in them, man. We got to be crazy for this game.
Yeah, that's why I'm always rocking with you, man. You've always been the same to me, man. Regardless of the plays and the type of accolades you've always gotten in this league, man. You've always been the same person, bro. And I want to tell you, I appreciate that about you, bro. You special in every sense, bro.
No, I appreciate it, and that's I love when it comes from people, especially you, Reggie Ragland, because it's
Reginald.
You know, you've known me from the jump. I don't even know too many people.
He done with the government.
Oh, Reginald.
Reginald.
Yeah, look at he always call me Reginald, man.
Reginald.
I don't know.
Hey, hold on now.
He gave me a whole
that don't mean y'all two can call me that.
Roll runner.
That reminds me of them days you be in class. That reminds you of them days you be in class, man, and them folks start calling out your names for the students that's there for the first 2 days. Man, we in class, man. They called out Julio name, and Julio name was way different than it ain't even a J in his regular name, and they was like Quinteris Jones, Quinteris Jones, and you hear Julio here. And we look, bro, we did not know that was your name. Like, where did that come from? And I think DJ,
scratch. That's funny.
Yeah, DJ Fluke's name was like Danny Jesus or something. Like, it was something crazy. Jarrell here was Herman. Yeah.
Ryan
Jarrell
Anderson is Orlando.
When they said my name.
Speaking of that class, hey, kid, you remember that time we was in speech class our first year at Bama?
The fact that y'all got a speech class is even more funny.
No, bro, we had to. Man, everybody took that speech class in the summertime. You ain't take it with Coach Saban. It made everybody take it.
Coach Saban was teaching the class?
No, Coach Saban was teaching, but he made all the freshmen take it to learn how to speak because, you know, that first year, freshmen don't get to speak.
Yeah, he ain't make us take that. We weren't that far yet. Yeah, we weren't that far.
My fault. Well, he made us take it. And every day in the summer, we was all sweating and running the class, and you want us to do a speech.
Yeah, we weren't that far.
Hey,
then.
Say that one more time?
No, I was saying, you remember the speech class we took my freshman year?
Yeah, in the big auditorium.
Yeah, but do you remember when I came up and I did that speech? I was trying to teach everybody how to dance.
Yeah.
Man, hey, that speech was legendary, y'all. Because I stood up
like everybody,
and I said flamingo. All right, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all go.
What you remember about that speech, Kenyan?
The fact that we even had to take that class was funny to me. I can't even remember it. The only reason why I remember it because he's bringing it up. Like, I can't even remember. I think I took a nap every day in that class. Don't tell Coach Saban.
Man, look here. We all slept, but that day I was at Rare Forum. Well, I'm going to show y'all what I did when I get my video feed up tomorrow. I'm going to try to get it up by tomorrow. I'm going to definitely have to show y'all.
Speaking of dance fever.
I got to be reminded myself of that.
Yeah, speaking of dance fever, we got the one and only Blake Sims online. Blake Six Sims, 2-time national champion. Blake Six, what's going on, man? You got Kenyan Drake on, you got Reggie Ragland, and you got Antonio Langham, and you got me on here, man. Blake, what's going on?
What do?
What's going on, Six? Can't get right. What's going on, man? You good?
You all good, man. I'm over here chilling, eating on some wings. You feel me?
What kind of wings
Hey,
you got?
what's good with you, my boy? It's KD.
Oh, what up, Fully?
Good, man.
What's Drake wearing them, boy?
Vibing, man. Got the whole crew back on.
Man, you know, I was at Hillgrove yesterday doing a little 707, man. And I was talking to somebody about it. Hold on. Somebody want to holler at you, too. Hold on, fool. Drizzy.
Yes, sir.
What it do? What's good with you, bro? Got everybody in my What up, Reggie? What up, 3?
Yeah, Big
What
Lee.
up, man? What's that?
Lee, what's going on?
This is not Lee, nigga. This is Zay.
Oh, Zay, what's going on?
Zay.
We on the radio.
Hold on now, Zay. You on the radio.
Say what? What you say, Trent?
You on the radio.
We on the radio. We on the radio. We got a bump, buddy.
I heard that.
Boy,
yeah,
boy,
man.
boy.
I just got on the phone to speak, man.
Man, how you been, man? You been good?
I've been blessed. I can't complain.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. How you little man doing?
With all y'all, he getting big. He's expensive.
Oh, he say he's expensive.
Big and expensive.
Just like your daddy was. Expensive.
Reggie, stay out of this.
All right, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be quiet. Zay. I just know I love you, man.
You send him one of them Nike packages or something, and you help a brother out.
What size shoe you wear?
What size shoe he was? A 9.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 10 in the 4th grade.
Well, that sounds like me. I was at a 12.
Yeah, I understood what my mom was talking about now.
You was in the 12 in the 4th grade, Reggie?
Bro. Yeah, cuz. All right, so.
Reggie, you had feet.
I was like 5'4". I was like 5'4".
That boy had duck feet back in the day, boy.
And then going into the 5th grade, I grew 2 inches. But then when I was going to the 6th grade,
you was a size 12 in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I was a size 14 in the 6th grade. I've been the same height essentially since I was 12.
You had extended DJ
You were
feet.
size 12 in the 4th grade. I don't feel bad for my son.
No, but I was also one of the top basketball players in the country as a kid growing up. So I thought I was going to play basketball, but then life took me other way.
Oh, man, we asked about your feet, man. We already know you were All-American Matt Darnold.
Hey, man, don't hate the player, now. Hate the game.
I'm giving you your props. I know. I seen you play ball in the ring.
Hey, Zay, I'm glad you on the phone. Matter of fact, when we come back from this commercial, they were talking about Brian. They were talking about how they had it. You know, they were talking about they chilled harder than us. I want you to tell them a little experience that we had when I was in school. Was you there when I was in Bryan?
I was there. I'm
talking about when I was in Bryan still though.
You was in Bryan when I was there. I don't know if you're supposed to have a room there, but you did.
Oh, snap.
No, I was going to Blake. You and Blake used to be in the Blake room. But Bryan was late, though. I used to come over there as a recruit. So I used to with Kareem, all y'all. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You was in the good old days. You were there when Kareem
was
there.
Great days. Brick house days.
Yeah, old brick house. Old brick house, man. We got some stories about that brick house when we get back, man. We'll be right back, man, with the ropes with TR3.
Teams for a great effort tonight, and all during this most compelling regular season. And now it's my pleasure and honor to present the National Championship Trophy to Coach Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Free tax.
Welcome back with the ropes with TR3. Looking at some of these predictions right quick, man. Before we jump into your to asking Blake and Mr. Langham over here about what they thought about the games this weekend. The predictions are Lamar Jackson to go to Atlanta. If that happens, ooh-wee. Atlanta is on. Tom Brady to Vegas. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets or to the Colts, and Derek Carr to Houston. What y'all think about that? Yeah, Derek Carter,
Personally,
Houston.
I can see that. But who is going to be the coach in Houston, though?
Houston ain't got a coach right now?
No.
Houston ain't never got a coach.
No, they just fired Lovey, man. After 1 year, they didn't give him or Cully multiple years. But like, I don't know, man. We'll see in Houston, But hopefully they can get them somebody who's a leader and a good coach, man, and we'll see how that work out. But they do get Derek Carr in Houston. I can see that, but Derek gonna need some more weapons around him.
Tell me this: if y'all Aaron Rodgers? I'm gonna start this with you, and Blake, I want you to answer. Reg, I want you to answer. Do you go to the Jets or to the Colts?
Who, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I say Jets.
Neither, because he's not gonna leave Green Bay.
You don't think he's gonna leave Green Bay?
They talking about. He just said on the show earlier today that he'd be willing to rework his deal. So he's pretty much telling them, I know my contract is not viable for the Green Bay Packers. In order for me to get some guys, some more help out here, some veteran guys at receiver, I'm gonna have to rework this deal. So he kind of mentioned he's willing to rework his deal to try to get some guys. So I don't think he's so planted in Green Bay. I just don't see what reason he would have to just even leave Green Bay. So, and they don't want him to leave. And especially if he's willing to, he's talking about reworking his deal. He pretty much so many words saying, "I'll stay and rework this deal as long as you get me some help."
Tell me this: how many years did Devontae Adams sign for? Was it a 1 year deal? Or was it
multi?
It was a multi-deal.
That boy went a lot of years. He growing. They grow money on trees over there.
He may want to get out of Vegas now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Car out of there.
He said he want to stay though, but he want to say so on who the quarterback is. Because Vegas got a team. They got a damn good team. They just got to find the right piece at the forefront.
I don't know if Brady is the answer now. I love Brady to death, but Father Time started to peek his head out there a little bit.
Man.
Hey, Father Time was kind of up under that armpit every now and then. Look, hey, I'm here now. You know,
about that time now.
About that time.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this though. So let's say the Raiders get a top 3 pick. Who they taking? Bryce. Or the young cat in Ohio State.
C.J. Stroud.
Either one could be a bad pick.
Be a good pick.
But for the season that they just had, I would go with Bryce. And I'm saying it because
for the season he just had, he needs to go get him a veteran quarterback that is because the Raiders after the season they had, I don't think they're gonna give old boy too much longer as the head coach there. So you need a veteran. You need a veteran quarterback to come in there right now. He needs
in his system. In his system, you do.
Yeah, but I'm talking about with the players that they got around there. I would go with Bryce more than CJ, because you can. I've seen Bryce when you get down, and not saying that, and I haven't watched much of CJ. But when you get down or you get in a predicament to where you need something done or he get in trouble, like Bryce has been all over the field with that, like far as the mindset and being able to get into situations and get out of situations of, man, this is 2nd and 10 and I throw a pass to the receiver and hit him right in the hands and he dropped the ball. Okay, next play I got to make a play. And he scramble around, and not saying that CJ don't do it, but me watching Bryce personally for his last 3 years, like I feel like the mindset of trying to be a winner and win it and picking your team up and being that guy to take the criticism and put a team on their back. Like I've seen Bryce Brown do that with my eyes personally. So I don't, I've watched CJ play a couple times and he's played damn good ball. But as far as me personally, I would go get Bryce because of that. Because we know how the NFL is. You can go and have a 2-14 season, or at least a 6-8 season. You can still make the playoffs in 6-8 season for real, as long as you win your it ain't conference, it's division. So I feel like Bryce is one of those guys.
I'm gonna tell you, I just read something that the 49ers are planning to stick with Brock Purdy. And how would y'all feel if the Raiders when they got Trey Lance? I can see that now. I can see that too now. Athletic, got an arm, can throw the ball in that system.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that, Reg, because he's got a little bit of some good tools thus far with being there under Kyle Shanahan and being up behind Garoppolo and watching Brock. So, I mean, you're bringing in a guy with some experience. So, that wouldn't be a bad move.
Or just go get Garoppolo that knows the system already.
True.
You think San Francisco will let Jimmy G go?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't see them letting him go, man. And if they let him go,
they tried to let him go this past offseason, and Trey was a starter. But then when Trey got hurt, then they had to bring him back.
Well,
but then if Brock Purdy going like that, I'm gonna keep the two young cats.
Well, I don't know, Garoppolo. They realized when they were trying to let him go, and I think he chose to just stay around there and do that last year. Garoppolo did, but I know once Trey went down, man, he had to come in. It's almost like San Fran offense took off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they looking at hindsight now. Kyle may be saying, "Look, I need to keep Jimmy G and Brock Purdy, and hey, let's move Trey."
So tell me, if they let Jimmy G go, do they go get Tom
Brady?
Yeah. Would that be a fit?
No. Then you still got.
You stuck on the granddad clock.
Hey man, y'all laughed that play, man, for all the time now and hadn't lost one yet, man. So,
yeah, that thing undefeated.
Undefeated. Jinx.
A lot of them cats on TV the other day finally saying it. you know you get Big Brother Shannon out there get it talking about. It's time for him to go, Skip. They had enough.
Yeah.
But hey, because of what because of what he's done in the NFL and all his accolades, somebody gonna give Brady a chance as long as he wants to continue to play. So I think the next stop is Vegas, because I think he's gonna try to go to Vegas and try to help Josh out, try to help save his job over there with the Raiders. So I think he knows the offense.
About Josh Jacobs, but they got to sign Josh back, man, because without Josh, I don't know, that offense can go, but it don't go as much without Josh. So they got to get Josh back, because that offense is made for Josh.
Oh yeah,
I respect him too, because he told him he wanted to stay there. He was like, "Man, I want to stay here with the Raiders."
Yeah, so you gotta respect.
I wouldn't want to leave. I wouldn't want to leave either. Y'all been in that city. They love Josh out there. You think I want to leave too? No, sir. No, ma'am.
Yeah, man. But you think about the work Josh done put in, and even just in that offense, like. If you're not in an offense like that, or the old Seattle offense, I don't know how the Seahawks offense look now, or even with a Kansas City offense, those type of offenses that fit Josh. Even Baltimore, that offense will fit Josh too. But it ain't too many offenses that does what Josh is great at. And I think Vegas has created that offense, and they stayed with that not, I don't want to say old NFL, but they stayed with that NFL mindset as having, we're gonna have a downhill runner. This is our guy. This is who we going with. And man, at least they can do, man. They can make my guy happy, man, and put some tools around him, or put some people in place for him, so he can be there for the long haul. And he's telling you, I want to be here. You know, I don't see myself being anywhere else. So if I was them, man, I would definitely put some pieces around Josh, get him paid. He definitely need his money because he putting in the work. Because if y'all don't do it, somebody else gonna do it, and he gonna be great wherever he go. You know, regardless, because he's not just a running back. He can catch the ball, and I will always tell people, for myself, when people ask, a comparison of a running back, man, that would be the closest one to me. That compared to the game that I was having when I was playing at Bama, and he didn't even start at Bama. And so, when I sit there and, compare our career together, as far as at Bama, man, I feel like he was one of those guys that could have played in that area, as far as the Mark Ingram, the Meade, the Derrick Henrys and the Kenyan Drakes and, the TJ Yells. There's not that many guys that can play right now in our area. And he's one of those type of guys. Because not only he's doing that, he's blocking too. And he's a hell of a blocker. But yeah, they got it. They can't. Their offense don't go without
man,
Josh.
I love how tough Josh is, man.
Yeah.
With his background he had coming up and everything like that, man. And
come on,
he runs with a chip on his shoulder. He runs angry, man. And we all have been there, like circumstances close to, but not close. You know what I'm saying? And I was fortunate to have both my parents with me from the jump, and they did what they could, man. But I just love seeing the way he played the game, man. He plays football how it's supposed to be played. Like now, if you touch anybody, you getting a flag, man. And it seems like Josh don't give a damn. He gonna tote it. He gonna run you open field. He gonna lower that shoulder. So you better make sure you got your boots strapped on tight.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. But I'm trying to see, man. It's gonna be a story. It's gonna be probably one of the biggest stories of the off season for Tom Brady. See where he gonna go. See where Aaron Rodgers go this year. Is he gonna stay at home? There's gonna be a lot of moving pieces around the NFL, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. But the next year, even with what does Broncos do? Who they gonna bring in? I know they ride with Russell, but as far as the pieces, around him. What can they do? The coaching and stuff like that too. So what are they gonna put around? Russell over there, man. So it's gonna be a great off season. It's gonna be an interesting off season. A lot of people gonna lose jobs, as we already seen. Like a lot of people's already losing jobs. A lot of people gonna have jobs too. But it's gonna be availability.
This one to make
somewhere.
you happy though. Hey, Trent, I think this one to make you happy. You see Bill going to New England.
I knew you finna say it. Bill O'Brien, he went to New England. He's look, Unc over here smiling. He got something to say. He got something to say.
I got a question for Unc too.
The man is an NFL guy, man. Those guys that's been in the NFL all their life, they transition to college, but they can't handle it, man, because the idea of going out and recruiting, that's the part that they. If you see majority of the coaches that have been NFL coaches all their life and never been in the college ranks, when you send them to college, they can only do it for so long. That's why Brian Dable got out of it. Some of them guys, man, can handle the stress of being on the road 3 weeks to a month, man, out there recruiting. They can't handle that, man. So he made the talk. I'm not sure if I'm leaving. Yes, you are, man. You want to go back to the NFL. And Belichick probably like, I sent you there, so I need you back.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been Indian giver. Yeah, and it would have been good for him to win a national championship while he was there. But he might be one of the only offense coordinators that Nick done had who haven't won a national championship too. And go back on the other side with Pete. And I actually got to meet Pete, man. Pete was a good guy, man. When I got to meet him when I went down there for the banquet, man. The defensive coordinator, Pete Golden.
We ain't saying he's not a good person.
There you go.
Say that at all.
Man, there you go. Mean? There you go. Well, I know some people, they talk about Bill in a different way.
Well, Rich, I have a question for you, man. At what point do at what point, as former players, as fans, at one point do we get away from the idea of blaming the defensive coordinator for everything that goes wrong with the defense? Because let's just be honest now. All defensive guys do is study film. Then they call situational football. It's personnel, it's tendencies, what they do out of it. And then all we do is we there's people in the box that say, all right, they got this personnel in. Now all of a sudden we're saying out of this personnel, this down and distance, their tendencies are 30% pass, 70% run. And then we call defenses. But most of the time, 85% of the time, it's going to be one or at least two people on that defense out of position, or it's going to be a ME or something that causes a big play.
Man, you know me. I've always said it's the players too. Like it does. Like our job as defensive players is to make the coaches right. They're not playing the game. Like we have to react to everything. That's our job as defensive players, right or wrong.
Right. You're right.
So whatever goes on the field, we have to make it right. Like as a linebacker, if I call it wrong, I call the strength wrong, the close call wrong, it's the guys in the back end that make me right. And you got to have them one or two guys on the field who's going to take charge. And even though it's a bunch of chaos, you got to see guys in there being animated and moving guys over, guys in the back end. Hey, okay, it's wrong. So linebacker, you got to go out instead and go over number 2, and the other linebacker got to go to number 3. And now the other safety that was supposed to come down to a strong, he might have to come weak. So now he has to take up the responsibility of that weak side linebacker now. So it's the guys on the field job to make it right. I've always said it's always been the players' fault. Well, I wouldn't say it's the players' fault. It's a cumulative everybody. But it's our job as defensive players to make our coach right, because we have to react to everything. And if the safety's not deep enough, you got to back up 2 or 3 more yards just to see everything fold out. Of linebacker, we got to back up, or we too tight to the line how we see things. So it's a cumulative, but at the end of the day, the coach is not playing the game. We have to play the game. And it doesn't matter what personnel that they call. We have to be grown enough to go out there and stop them and then let the coaches get back on track the next play. You feel what I'm saying? So,
I see exactly.
Like you said, the MEs, it's the players. If you don't know what the hell going on, it's the coach's job to get them out. In that aspect, if they keep busting it, that's the coach's fault. He got guys out there that don't know it. But then you get somebody out there that knows it.
Right.
Sometimes you got to stop playing the best player and put the guy out there that knows it and make the best player grow up.
Now, I agree with you on that part. It was just like all season you just hear about it. Man, Pete Golding got to go. Pete Golding has to go. But then you sit there and look at Nick after the game, and then you hear Nick say, well, on the run with the quarterback with Daniels, we had the perfect defense call, but the linebacker fit in the wrong gap. Safety came down and took a bad angle, and they freed him, and that's how he was able to get this 40-yard run. But it's been made so much that we shouldn't take shots at these. These are kids playing football. We shouldn't be taking shots at them. We shouldn't be blaming them. Why the hell not?
Yeah, you're right about that.
They're getting paid good money now. If you're out of position or you can't do your job, then it needs to be said. But it's easy to blame it on. It's easy to blame it on the defensive coordinator or the coach, and then the coach tried to make it easy by saying, well, they weren't ready to play. That's on me. Let me tell you something, man. I'm at the University of Alabama. I don't need Nick Saban to walk in there and have to hype me up playing a football game. I don't need him to have to give me no big rah-rah speech to go playing the game. I'm at Alabama.
Yeah. I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you on that, Uncle. I agree with you 1,000%. Because it never took Nick to just give us no rah-rah,
we did it our dance, I'm sure.
Yeah, cause Nick, the players get up, say what they want to say, but Nick, he had a last say. But we was already prepared. We was, we like you said, we studied all week. We won the game within a week anyway. It was nothing that they were gonna do on game day that was gonna switch for us to make us switch up anything. And if we did, we had to make a adjustments in at halftime. But other than that, it was something that we couldn't stop, or it was something that we could see that we could have scored on or did better on, or if we left more football out there. Like, that was the little adjustments that we did make. But other than that, it was always on the players. Like, it was never on the coach. And so,
Walk on sports.
It's one of them things, man, where you got to. Yeah, okay. He get me off of that. Okay, well, listen, we got to take a break. Yeah, we done heard walk-ons twice, so listen, we got to take a break. Smitty bumping me off, so listen. We'll be right back with the ropes with TR3.
The Ropes with TR3. Two-time national champion, three-time All-American, 2011 SEC Offensive Player of the Year, Heisman finalist, and Alabama's first Doak Walker Award winner with 49 touchdowns and 4,590 yards. Third pick of the 2012 NFL Draft to the Cleveland Browns. Also doing a stint with the Indianapolis Colts. Trent Richardson can do it all under the brightest lights, uniting legends of the game to show you the ropes. Train your body and mind with former Alabama wide receiver, 2009 national champion, Coach Mike McCoy. Develop a championship mentality with two-time national champion, 2015 SEC Player of the Year, Super Bowl winner with the Chiefs, Reggie Ragland. Featuring King of the Stage, comedian legend Jermaine FunnyMaine Johnson, and 1992 national champion Antonio Langham. You are your way out. Live from AVX Studios in downtown Birmingham, The Ropes with TR3.
Here we go. Here we already done started it. We already started it. Well, if this would have happened and that would have happened, for the last 27 years, it ain't happened. And y'all keep giving this man fuel. I try to come on here and make people logical. Think about it from a logical reason. Key, you just went down 7 excuses. We could do it this year. We could do it last year. We could do it the year before that, the year before that, the year before that, bro. This is why it's so damn hard to do this every year with Stephen A.
Let me ask you this, though, Swagger, before I let Stephen A.
Golly, bro.
If he doesn't turn the ball over those 2 times, is it and Pollard doesn't get hurt, is it a different game?
Key.
That's all I'm asking.
Yes, but Key, he turned it over against the Jaguars. We turned it over against the Jaguars. We turned it over against the Commanders. We turned it over against Green Bay. We turned it over. That wasn't new. And everybody thought because of the Tampa game, it was going to be an epiphany.
Oh, I did.
No, man, it was the #1 defense coming into the game on the other side, bro. It was the #1 D. And Kellen Moore was going to stand him in the center of the pocket. He wasn't going to move him. We know that. That's why I picked the 49ers to win the game. If I would have thought that they would do something different, I would have probably picked the Cowboys. They were not going to do anything different.
Which is what I say.
That was Steve.
Oh, man. Welcome back, man. We got the hometown heroes for the second hour, man. Jeez, old Swagoo going off, man.
Bro,
stroke out.
I've been watching Dallas fans go off on the internet since the game ended. There needs to be an intervention with that fan base, man.
Bro, I've seen people run over TVs.
Yeah, I've seen them punch TVs, fight each other, run over TVs with their truck.
Why?
Like that team is not emotionally healthy for these people, dog.
Man,
it's not.
They act like they getting a check.
They need to get a crazy check.
I'm not running my.
Listen, I had my day with it yesterday. I was just like, I just couldn't understand it, like, cause and it's kind of like, and I don't like talking about people, man, but Dax don't show up in the big games, man, and it's been like that since college, even when he was at Mississippi State. Like, you go out and show out first few games, and you show up, big in a couple games and come to the games like you really need, he disappeared. Like, and just watching the game, man, it just seemed like I don't want to say this. I don't want to put this out there.
Man, say it.
It's almost like he took a dive.
Oh,
I
didn't know you were gonna say that.
Listen, man, listen. When you're scrambling around and you almost take a safety,
I didn't want to say that.
and the dude just pushed you, and it was almost like, bro, like you ain't gonna throw the ball or you ain't gonna try. He just pushed him, and he was just like, and Dax held on to the ball, and he was like, oh, I woke up, like, hey, oh snap, the play is going.
Wow.
And it was just like, bro, like, what is going on? He threw 2 interceptions. He almost threw 4. I gave him 4, but I'm looking back at the game, it was almost 5 of them.
I go back to what I said. Something needs to be done. I don't know if the government needs to step in. But even if these folks get to the pinnacle again, a Super Bowl, after that,
it's going to be bad.
There's no win, and it's so many Cowboys fans in every city, everywhere. It's just, it's bad, bro.
But Swagoo said it best, man. They don't get him outside the pocket. Like, that's his script, man, getting him outside the pocket and using his legs and letting him throw the ball on the run and doing things like that. Because when he was real successful in college, when we was playing him, he was getting outside the pocket and making plays with his feet. That's what he do best. That's what got him paid from the beginning, getting him out of the pocket and letting him be himself and let him play and be an athlete out there on the field. We get it. We all want to be a pocket passer. He can throw the ball from the pocket. But right now, we got to use his strength. And if they use his strength, that team could really be more dangerous. And that goes back. They was on the coordinator for that. Like I said, if he thought Kellen Moore was going to get him outside the pocket more and do something different, he would have went with him.
Reggie, how many times did Dak beat y'all in college?
We ain't talking about us.
No, I'm asking in college because you brought up his college. 0. Here's what I believe.
But when they was the number 1 team in the country, that's what they were
remember.
doing.
What I'm saying is, when he gets up, I think y'all were the best defense he saw in college, and now San Francisco's the best he saw in the pros. Anytime he faces a legitimate defense, his true self is going to show up. That was my point. I ain't saying he's not going to have some good games during the season, but in the playoff, when all that money on the line and these teams have jailed together for 16, 17 weeks, I think Dak just is who he is.
I'm glad you said money. You giving me 40, I'm getting to it.
You better know it.
I'm getting to it.
You know what? I'm really not. I'm not gonna blame Dak for that loss. I'm not. I'm gonna blame the offensive coordinator this time because of this reason here. When you went into this game knowing San Fran was probably the best defense in the NFL, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that Bosa and those guys are gonna get a lot of pressure on Dak. As an offensive coordinator, why wouldn't you go to a West Coast offense, which at that point allows Dak to get the ball out of his hands in a hurry? You go slants, you go quick outs, you go those type of routes, intermediate. You get the ball out of his hands quick. A West Coast offense does not allow him to sit there and have to hold that ball and wait on guys to get open. A West Coast offense is quick hit all day, and they should have gone West Coast offense and not force Dak to have to sit in there and try to scramble around with pressure on him. When you put him, you set him in that offense yesterday to be a sitting duck on Sunday. You put him in an offense when you should have went West Coast and made Dak get the ball out of his hands quick. They couldn't cover CD.
Go ahead. Got one of the originals OGs over here, man. You got Mike just came in. OG, Coach Mike McCoy. What going on?
What's up, Mike?
Chilling like the cold side of the pillow, you feel? But man, I agree with 1,000%. But my question is that have they prepared for it? You know, West Coast offense is complicated. But now, granted, they should have had HOTS installed anyways. But I've been saying it the whole time. I just think he look like the black Tony Romo, man. I don't know. don't know. I could. I think it was a fluke that he played that well last time. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think. But to get over that mountaintop, over that hump, it starts up front. And you paying these guys all this money, these quarterbacks all that money, but you're not protecting them. Like you just said, he's a sitting duck. You playing against guys that's the best defense in the NFL, and you're not getting the ball out quick. How many times did they run the ball? How many built-in screens did they run? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of answers. So I think it's the whole they have not been America's team for a long time.
Oh, man. Listen. Before we get back to that.
When was the last time they won a Super Bowl?
Man.
95?
95? How old were you in 95, Trent?
6.
Oh, Lord.
I was 2.
Let me ask you this question, man. Because this has been bothering me, too. And funny, man, you can get into this, too. Why? We talking about, I'm going to go to Tampa real quick. Brady didn't look good this year, really. Looked like Father Time caught up with him. A lot of stuff happened because Brady just converted. He couldn't get away from the pass rush. And it just seemed like he was late on a lot of throws. It just seemed like Father Time was catching up with. Why does Leftwich had to lose his job because Brady didn't play good this year?
They got to have a scapegoat.
Yeah.
That's like an interim. Anytime you interject, you got somebody you got to have somebody that's a fall guy. Everybody know it. You know it. Everybody knows.
Because he was the same guy calling the offense when you won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Nothing's changed with the offense for real. So because Brady plays bad, Leftwich he has to lose his job?
I think, man, they want him to be so good that they got to point the finger somewhere else. They want him to be the savior of the NFL. You know, we know he went. We know he's a winner. You know he's a proven. We can say he's the GOAT as far as quarterbacks are concerned. But I definitely just feel like they want him. That's like MJ. MJ wasn't the best team player, but nobody's going to challenge that. You know what I'm saying? Like you give some players earn a status to where they get a pass on being or not living up to their expectations. Because you think about when Jordan was with the Wizards, he was still pointing the finger to everybody. And I'm a Jordan fan, you know. So I think when you can make it to a certain, and even like Coach Saban right now, they think.
Oh, hold on, wait, hold on. Hold on. You
better get the whole
show.
Hey, you better get the whole show shut down.
Yeah, you speak.
You better get the whole show shut down.
No. I don't mean that. But I'm going to say, is anybody above criticism?
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
You know what I'm saying? Trent, I ain't going to get you kicked off, man. I'm going to be nervous.
I'll interject on that, man. Let's be real.
Funny, man. I'm over here sweating my tail off.
Y'all didn't even let him see what he was going to say. Lord have mercy.
Listen, I know Mike at a different scale, though.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true. So here's the deal, man. At some point, it's business, and you're talking about who the meal ticket is. Brady being in Tampa, they probably sold more tickets than they have since their first Super Bowl year. We know he got one of the top 5 selling jerseys. People going to come to see him. You're going to get the media attention. So, yeah, you from a business standpoint, you got to cater to him. The average person who just flipping through the channels watching the game don't know who Byron Leftwich is. They don't know his pedigree. He was a great quarterback and did great things, but he don't sell tickets. So, you know, if I got, let's say if we managing a rap group and Drake just so happened to be on with 3 regular dudes, we got to keep Drake on there.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody know the random.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is in business.
I can't argue with you on that. That's a good point.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense on that one. I mean, but it's going back to what Mike said. They got to point the finger at somebody, and it's like what you said too. Like if we got a Tom Brady and we got Lou and Mary Jane or whoever, Tom Brady's gonna always be Tom Brady. But like you said, the pedigree of Tom Brady and Brian Leftwich is two different pedigrees at the same time.
But that ain't fair, though.
No, it's definitely not fair.
When they won the Super Bowl, this man's name was floating around for head coaching job.
Yeah.
But then Brady have a boo-boo year. Now all of a sudden now you got to fire Leftwich. Now you haven't heard Leftwich's name mentioned one time for any head coaching job. Ain't nobody even asked to interview him.
Not a head coaching job or offense coordinator job. Like you haven't heard
Brady had a bad season. Now this man's opportunity to be a head coach is being jeopardized because now you're holding him accountable for a season that Brady had. It's Father Time. I don't care if Brady can go get in these hyperbaric chambers all he wants to and sleep in the same chambers Michael Jackson was sleeping in. That don't mean nothing, man. Father Time gonna win.
Right.
But you jeopardizing this man's opportunity to be a head coach because Brady had a bad year.
But I'm glad you said that, and it's a leeway. Everybody's saying Miko will not come back to Tuscaloosa. That's one of the reasons I think he should consider it, because they just not doing right by black coaches up there, man. Like, just like you said, Leftwich just 2-3 seasons ago, top name. They tear you down just like they did Flores, and nobody's talking about you. If Miko get in there wherever he going and he don't win immediately, it'll be the same situation. Whereas if he comes to Tuscaloosa, shows out and learns how to be a head coach under the GOAT, the sky's the limit on the collegiate or the professional level. But I think if he tries to jump to NFL head coach next year, I'm a little concerned.
I think, and I'm agreeing with you, as that old saying goes, this is just my reference for black coaches. I'm here for some time, not a long time. Mike Tomlin is the anomaly. You don't see that often. Leslie Frazier should be considered for a head coach. Look at the Bills defense.
Yeah. You go and finish. You could go and finish real quick. Go and finish.
I know we got bills to pay, man.
Yeah, we definitely got bills to pay, man.
We're going to pay them bills.
We want to put that tab on your head.
Yeah, we definitely got bills to pay, man. Listen, we'll be right back, man, with hometown heroes, man, for this second quarter, man. And listen, we having fun while doing this, man. So we'll be right back. We got some bills to pay.
And in a nutshell, that president and that board, they politicking, they hiding stuff. This interim president is trying to get that interim tag removed, so he's doing whatever the board tells him to do. This is my solid opinion from watching the interviews, because he came on and said some stuff, and I was like, dang, this dude is polished, like a great speaker. Like in another life, he would have been a senator. And he had me all in, and here come Ed, here come the students. He lying. That ain't like he.
That's how they said it.
Bro, he didn't blink when he said this stuff. He said, Roland said, so we're hearing that the students don't have showers and they got to, clean their own stuff. No, that's not true. We've invested so much money in the infrastructure, and we had hurricanes. I said, oh, boy, solid. Ed and the student came right back. Man, we have to share helmets. We had to wash our own stuff. We had to do that. I said, man, he got me.
I just seen a video of that, Mike. Yeah. Mike, I just seen a video of that.
Speak on it.
Just seen a video.
Speak on it.
Man, like I just seen a video. I'm just scrolling through Twitter, and the kid, the kid just said they had to share helmets. Man, it was a play. The kid was like, I need my helmet. And I seen the kid take his helmet off, hand it to the guy that said he needed his helmet, and he ran on the field. You know how unsanitary that is, man? Yep. How dirty and nasty that is. So man, his sweat and my sweat is combining with other guys' sweat from hitting each other. Like, that's unsanitary.
Yeah, and what's even more crazy is that this man still wasn't named the head coach. Like, he was still an intern.
But you guys got to understand, man. That's coming from grassroots. That's why it hit home. You can feel the empathy that Ed Reed had for those kids. You can feel the emotions. When you're trying to raise these kids to be young men, we feed into our own demise all the time. Like FunnyMaine say, a lot of times when we come on, the first thing that we say when black folks, we preach the negatives. Now you got somebody who's a Hall of Famer who has gotten it out the mud, who are giving these kids an opportunity. Who went to go pay for Ed Reed? You know what I'm saying? But, this is a Christian school. But he said, do you see what these girls are wearing? Do you see these crackheads that are walking through this campus? So all he did was just pull the sheets off the cover, off the bed. You know what I'm saying? So I think I saw the interim president speak, and I think he was coerced. It was definitely mayor vibes right there. And I can tell the way he was talking that he kept closing his eyes and having a conversation. When I was in law school, getting ready to go to law school, your brother's a little educated. That was one of the things we talked about, body language. Yep. And you can read body language from a mile away, man. And I could tell right then and there it was genuine, man. He an educated pigeon dropper, man.
Yeah. Listen, Ed Reed brought up a brother, or he came behind him. His name is Roe Parrish. Let's remember his name, Roe Parrish.
Yeah.
Young dude, that's him on the screen right there. Young dude, educated. He's on Ed's team, but he didn't say what his title was. I'll just call him a manager for the sake of the
That's the one he kept telling him to get off the phone.
No, he was trying to calm Ed down. He's very good at taking Ed's thoughts and then regurgitating it. Yeah, in a very political type way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it works. But during the interview, Ed is cutting him off. And he's like trying to calm down. You could tell that brother got the hardest job in America. Because Ed Reed is who he is. Everything we love about him, the passion, the no nonsense, it's still him. It's still in him. But Ed has got to realize, because two things can be true. That's not going to work at a corporate job, and that's what that coaching position is. It's a corporate job. It's not the homeboys. It's not this and that. But if he would let that brother be his mouthpiece, he'll be unstoppable. But I think he's saying too much, and if you got a good lawyer around, what's the first thing a good lawyer tell you to do? Stop talking.
Yep.
So my question to all you guys,
Mr. Steve Shaw.
So this is my question to all you guys. So was Ed Reed so were they expecting Ed Reed to just walk through these doors and pull a Deion Sanders and just be quiet? Were they expecting that?
They wanted the Deion results. Here's what I learned from that. The administration and the board and Ed Reed, they want Bethune to do well. It's just the board wants to control how Ed does it. And Ed, he said it in the interview, he was like, I just want to control the athletic department. Y'all have academia, all of that. Just let us handle the money, the fundraising, and all that. And they like, we want to control everything. You cannot control Edward Reed. And he's letting you know you can't control.
That's the same thing that's going on.
Educators control stuff that they don't know nothing about.
Right.
When you educate kids, that's your job. When it comes to sports, let the coaches do that. Like, you ain't played a snap or down. You know anything about cover 3, cover 2. You know anything about being a receiver and seeing if it's too high safety, you got to cut your route short or whatnot. Like, how can you control that? Like, every good program lets their head coaches control it, and the academic side and everything else they control. So how can you sit there and try to tell a man who knows football upside and down? I played for Coach Reed my rookie year in Buffalo. The man knows football inside and out. He's smart as hell. But how can you sit here and try to control that aspect of it if you've never been on that level or played that level of ball?
I'm gonna clarify. They're not trying to control the football part. They're trying to control, the ticket sales, the money. And if both of them were smart, they could have a great relationship. But they're both ruining it. It's like, hey, Ed, let us handle all the political stuff. Let us talk to the boosters or whatever after you get them in. You go off. You stay off camera. Cuss the kids out. Do whatever you got to do. Punch somebody in the head. We'll cover for you. But just run the program. That they ain't built like that. As I've watched that president lie to everybody's face, they ain't built like that. And Ed can see through it. So when you got a real dude around a bunch of fakers, he gonna act out.
So let me ask y'all. Let me ask you just my last question I've asked. So the strides that Prime made over the few years of being in Jackson State, did this incident at Bethune-Cookman set HBCUs back a little bit?
I think it's going to take.
That's tough.
They're going to get away from hiring former NFL celebrity type guys. I think at the end of the day, this is hand in hand with what was going on at Auburn. You got too many people trying to control things. Like when Coach Saban came into Alabama, he ran the show.
Yeah.
You going to let me run it how I want to if you want to win. I got the pedigree. And what did they do? They got on board. But we get in our own way. Everybody's fighting over that top dog, that top shelf. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be heard. Anytime that you got kids that are protesting for a coach, what does that tell you? That tell you all you need to know.
And then, like you said, though, man, it hit home from because, like, this is stuff that we came from. And, like, you look at a lot of these high schools look better than that college or some of these HBCUs out here. You can go down to Hoover right now and look 20 times better than the pictures that we seen with Bethune-Cookman. And they had, and you got the football players, like, you cannot have a program, and now you got the football program cleaning up these buildings that y'all could have done, within the faculty, or, you could have got the whole school to do a, helping clean day or something, whatever it is. They ain't even had a man office clean when he got there. Like, they got a whole building which could be used for housing or something that they use for trash. Like, well, that's crazy.
He talked about some of that, and then they kind of corroborated. So Bethune-Cookman has got hidden by 2 hurricanes, like in the last 2 months. That's a big reason for some of the trash and some of the stuff that's going on. So you have to factor that in there. But like I said, it could have been a great situation, man, if they get on the same page. But that board is up to some. And then Roland Martin said, I'm in Florida early February. I can come to the campus and do my show live, have a town hall with you, the president, Ed Reed, and the players. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And then, but then he said, we can get the board members there too. And then the interim guy was like, nah, the board don't need to come because they won't be. I said, man, you hiding for these folks, bro. Like,
yeah. He shines shoes, man.
So now back to my original question. We got to go break.
Yeah, I done got he done gave me the whoop. So
as the HBCU grad at the table, I'll respond to it.
Listen, wow. I'm with you when you're right.
I wasn't pulling rank.
He gonna just pull rank.
Let me turn everybody's mic off.
I know the ropes.
Listen, we'll be right back with the hometown heroes with the HBCU.
Ed Reed is responding to the fallout involving him and Bethune-Cookman University. Students protested, calling on the university to resume negotiations with Reed as head coach of the football team. And today, we're hearing from Reed and some of the players who say they want him to lead the football program.
West News' Christina Watkins tells us, though, the university's interim president says he doesn't want Reed there.
This ain't right. This ain't right, man.
An emotional Ed Reed speaking Monday night about Bethune-Cookman University's decision to not move forward with the NFL Hall of Famer as its next head football coach.
I cry for them kids, man. I hurt for them kids because it's wrong. I got eight kids that committed the week before. These kids calling me, their parents calling me. What we gonna do? I can't get these kids in no school.
Listening to Ed, see how passionate he is, right? But my thing is, it was messed up for me to see it because they still had these kids coming in, the recruiting, and he still went through the whole weekend with these kids, but all of a sudden, he's not the head coach.
Because they told him to cancel it.
Oh, they
They did. They told him to cancel all that. They did now. They did. They told him to cancel all that. Now, I saw that
Yeah, they did. They did say that.
AD and all them told him to cancel those visits, but he was like, "Man, majority of these kids were already getting on the plane, so I can't."
Yeah, how can you cancel that and these kids getting on the plane?
And he came out of what $2,400 out of his own money
Yep.
to get his kids, a good time for the weekend.
And then the president, who's an interim, wants us to believe that he, without the board's approval, made the decision to hire and fire Ed Reed. You're an interim, and you didn't check with the board. That's what you want me to believe? No.
I think he's finna be the fall guy. Because if it comes to the root gonna come to the head at some point, and I think he gonna be out.
Nah, he already made himself the fall guy. I think he's gonna be in. Him making himself the fall guy pleased the board. See, they don't have to take the fall. He laid on that sword willingly.
So tell me this: if you Ed Reed right now, and they say, "Well, Ed, come on, man, we messed up. We're gonna let you run it." Do Ed Reed go back and be a head coach for Bethune-Cookman? Would you even want that job?
He can't. He can't. The relationship will never be the same.
But Jackson State was bad. Like
I was about to say, is that what Deion was going through?
I'm
Jackson State.
Now I wasn't in. I don't drink beer with these guys, so I wasn't in there. So, and I'm sure you know somebody on there too. But my homeboy, I got all my folks from Mississippi, so. The coaches, Deion and the coaching, ADs and the president of the school barely even talk to each other, man.
I know him and AD got along, but I know him and the president.
Not the president, right?
Yeah,
Because when he made his final speech to the team, the AD was sitting there right by his side.
Mm-hmm.
If you contrast that with Ed Reed in the interview yesterday, Reggie Theus, who y'all might remember, he's the basketball coach and the AD. Ed Reed just played, and I said, this man evil. You can't recover a relationship, from that. That's tough. So what I think, Ed, I think he can get a job somewhere else, and if it's kids that want to follow you, they'll just have to transfer.
So let me ask you this: do you need a relationship with them, the AD, to do your job? Because you rarely see him, because you worry about X's and O's. You know what I'm saying? If he can raise his own money and do it how he wants to, I don't think they have to even cross paths.
I go back to the name Roe Parrish. If he lets Roe be the mouthpiece to the board and the president, he can be Ed somewhere else. But Ed, stay out in front of that camera, my boy. And he don't know how Instagram Live work. He said, I ain't even posted, man. Somebody screenshotted me. Ed, when you hit that live button, you're not just talking to your homies. You talk to the whole world. So. Yeah, but to answer Unk's question from earlier, do I think it said HBUs back? In a way, yes, because HBCUs, we need all the attention we can get. And we saw with Deion what it can mean for us. Not only Deion, Beyonce had a HBCU theme show. Meg Thee Stallion had just graduated from there. J.R. Smith is still a student at North Carolina A&T. We were getting some good momentum. And these younger kids were like, hey, I'm going to HBCU.
It's cool now.
You know what I'm saying? But it's been cool because you had movies back in the day like School Days. You had Different World. If you go back and look at old episodes of The Cosby Show, Martin, they were rocking. I seen them rock Tuskegee jerseys. You know, it's always, we've always embraced it. But this was it for this era. I don't think it's over. But I just hope oversight comes back to the black leadership at these schools, or we're going to be in trouble.
How long will it take Bethune-Cookman to recover from this blow?
A long time. Oh, yeah. I think their enrollment about to go down. I worked in admissions at Stillman for 3 years, so I know some bad publicity can kill a small private university, and they about to take some major hits.
That's to be more careful.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man.
Got you crazy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Our prayers up to Ed and Bethune-Cookman, man, that whole program. But we got to wrap it up, man. It's been a great show, man. Oh yeah, to top it off, every Tuesday, we're gonna start going to walk-ons. The one out there in Hoover, Stadium Trace. That's gonna be the first one we hit. Then we're going to go back to 280. We're going to do a live show, so fans, y'all can definitely come out, ask questions, give us everything that you got. we're going to give you everything we got, man. We've been having a lot of fun with the show. Listen, I want to thank you to all the listeners. Y'all can find us on every social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, on Bama Insider, YouTube, Pinterest. You can catch us on Spotify if you missed the show. You can go look it up by The Ropes with TR3. Tune in tomorrow for another great show. You already know, more great conversation. You have been listening to The Ropes with TR3. I'm your host, the one and only Trent Richardson. And remember, you are your way out.
Walk On Sports Bistro puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with a taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana dishes or fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs with more than 40 beers on tap. Watching at home, Walk-Ons is available to go. Order online or through the Walk-Ons mobile app. Visit Walk-Ons in Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Montgomery,